Hello and welcome to My Fusion Helper. My name is Troy Broussard, and in this short video I'm going to show you how to use the new Excel It helper. Now this little tool is awesome. It follows on the footsteps of our Google Sheet It helper, which allows you to export data real time from Infusionsoft straight into Excel. Now what we're going to do is first I'm going to kind of walk through how to set it up inside of My Fusion Helper, which is really straightforward and super easy. And then after we do that, I'm going to show you how to work with it in Infusionsoft. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how to then integrate it with Excel so that you can bring all of your data in and update it automatically and everything else that you want to do. So let's dive in first and see how it all works. Okay, I'm already logged in here to My Fusion Helper, and the first thing we want to do is click on the Create a Helper button, and we're going to go grab it from the drop down, and I like to just type it. It just works out easiest, so we can just grab it right there. And then you can of course watch the video, and you're definitely going to want to watch the video on this because this one, you may have to go through it a couple times to see the details of how it works and how to set up the mappings properly. All right, so then we give it a name and we just say configure the helper. And there's really only one thing that we have to do, and that is we have to map the saved search that we want to see in Excel. Now it can be either a saved search or saved report from Infusionsoft. The same is how we do this in the Google Sheet helper, right? So in order to get the data through the API, we can only access saved searches and saved reports, and so that is a requirement. So the first step is you're going to be setting up the data the way you want to see it, add the columns you want, add the filters you want, get it all the way you want it set up in Infusionsoft, and then save it as a saved search or saved report. Then we can come in here and I can just come down here and grab this Excel test and create the linking between Excel and My Fusion Helper, which then translates to Infusionsoft. Okay, now you can choose to use these pretty names if you want, but I don't recommend it, and that is because we use the names that are the field names through the API, and sometimes the reporting may break if you change that. So I recommend you don't do that. And then go ahead and click Create the Helper, and that's really all there is to it. There's only one option that you have to do. Now the next part is about installing it in Excel, and before we do that, however, I just want to go show you in Infusionsoft what you would do to set this up. So in Infusionsoft, it's all about creating a saved search. Okay, and as you can see, I've already defined a saved search here, and I just already went ahead and added some criteria. In this particular one, there's no criteria at all because this is a test data set that only has a few contacts in it, so I wanted to pull something back. But I did come in here and kind of modify the columns that I wanted to see. So what few people kind of realize is that you can do all of this here and put all of these different features and filters inside of your search. When you've got it all just the way you want, then you can come in here and click Save and give it a name, and then you can load it here as a saved search. Now it's not just saved searches though. The other thing that you can do is any area that you can do a report, you can also save that report. So if I wanted to look at tag applications reports like this, I can come in here, see, and I can save that report as well. So any report or any saved search that you want to export to Excel, you can do that. But the first step is to save it and name it in here. Now once you do, you will need to come back in. When you create this, you will need to refresh the data. So if I created a new one right now and I wanted to go edit and change this, it wouldn't see the list in here just yet until I refresh it. And so the way to do that would be just to click on the refresh button here, and that would repopulate that list of saved searches. All right, and now let's jump over to Excel and show you what you want to see to integrate it on that side. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to back out of here for the minute, and we've already set it up. So now we want to download this installer file. Now this file is just going to be used the very first time that you set this up in Excel. You do not have to have the file after that, and in fact you can even delete the file after you download and set it up the first time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this, and it will have the video for you. It says coming soon because I'm obviously recording the video now, but you'll see the video right here so that it kind of walks you through the steps. Okay, but now you can download, and it's already downloaded there, so we can go ahead and close this. And now what we want to do is we want to load up Microsoft Excel, and we want to open up a blank worksheet. And I'm going to just maximize this on the size here. Now, this is very important. When you go to data, don't go to the data on this menu. For some reason, they chose not to put this option on the toolbar, and you can't get to it from here. Okay, so it's very, very important that you go to data in the menu at the very top. Okay, so not on the toolbar, but on the top menu. And then we want to come down here and we want to say get external data, and we want to run a saved query. Now, when we say we want to run a saved query, then we navigate down to our downloads. We grab that file that we just did and we bring it up here. Okay, and now we say where we want to place that. Now, this works just the same way as it does in Google Sheets. So you can have multiple queries on multiple tabs down here at the bottom and place them in multiple locations. It's going to default to this A1, but if I wanted to go grab another sheet over here instead and place it there, I could do that. But I'm just going to put it here for right now. Okay. And that's going to bring that data in. It takes it a second, and you see it executes, and it's already bringing the data back from Infusionsoft. Now, after you've done this, the linkage is now created. This file that we downloaded, we don't need that anymore. In fact, if you want to just look at one of those files to see, you'll see that all it really has is the information to connect to My Fusion Helper. That's really what it is. It's a little settings file. Now, the first time you run this query, this settings file is now saved into your Excel document, and so you no longer need that little configuration file. Okay? It's just to establish that connection the very first time. Now, the data is in here, and you can go create any charts, graphs, formatting, anything you want. Now, I've always recommended to people in the Google Sheets video and through the help desk, and I recommend the same thing in Excel. If you want to format this, don't do the formatting on this sheet. Go down here, create a whole nother tab, and put all of your formulas and your calculations and any math that you need to run or any charts, put them on separate sheets, and that way you're not going to be stepping on top of the data that's coming back from Infusionsoft. Okay, so now we've got it set up, but we need to set it so that we can refresh the data whenever we want, right? So there's a couple of ways that you can handle that. You can manually refresh anytime you want by just clicking the Refresh All button here, and that will refresh the queries. And if we had, 3 different sheets with 3 different queries on them, all of that data would all be refreshed. But a more elegant way to do this is to go in here to the Properties, and when we pull up this properties, there's this nice little refresh control where we can say refresh data when opening the file. And this can be very useful because now when we save this file, every time we open it, or every time your CEO or marketing department or outside operations or accounting departments open this Excel spreadsheet, it will automatically then refresh the data. And that's the recommended approach that I recommend as a best practice. It will prevent you from over refreshing, and it'll also prevent you from having stagnant data. So that is the best practice on how to set this up. All right, so we can just kind of talk about a few practical examples of this and how to put this to work in your organization. The first is just going to be more robust data reporting. Being able to create your own custom charts and graphs and any type of reporting that you want is, really the most powerful feature and benefit for using the Excel It helper. Now, another thing that you can do this for is any kind of financial analysis or accounting reports. A lot of times you need to give accounting data to your accountants on a daily balance or a monthly balance, and you may need to create some special reports and in the format that they need to see them, right? And so, you can set this up once in an Excel and then just set it up as a saved search and just, automatically distribute that to them once a month and send it to them. And each time they open it, it's going to refresh the data and everything's going to be good to go, right? Another option is just distributing data outside of Infusionsoft in general. So I've seen this used for affiliate promotions. We've got a lot of people that use that with Google Sheets, where they have an affiliate, table that lists the sales and everything, and they have that all calculated and they put it into a Google Sheet so that it can easily be distributed outside the organization without people having to look into their accounts. That's kind of a good way to keep your affiliates excited because they can see the leaderboard, right? But there's also a lot of other reasons. It could be just that you need to get some data in a real-time basis to a consultant or to an outside service provider or outsourcer that you really don't want to give access to Infusionsoft. You just want to give them the data that they need, and that's another great way that you can put this helper to use in your business. All right, well, that is a wrap. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you have any questions, make sure and reach out to us on the help desk at help@myfusionsolutions.com.